Morning traders, I hope everyone is well. I hope you can all hear me loud and clear. All right, thank you for confirming that. I do appreciate. All right, before we begin, I believe with what I have here on the chart, I am looking at the possibility of market doing some short-term retracement. Yeah, but before we proceed, I also want to take the advantage to discuss what happened yesterday to recap and what we'll be doing going forward. And so going to my 4 hour time frame, as of from last week, as I mentioned yesterday, on our daily time frame, we did have we had price pushing to the upside. And so what we did is that we identify support and resistance, and we identify some um, head and shoulders pattern. However, that pattern was a fake, perhaps, so we use that as a confluence to what is going to be happening next. So this was the area where we bought um, last week. So what we are looking forward to is to now see what's going to happen next. But before that, when I dive down to my H4 time frame, my H4 time frame does have a ascending triangle pattern, which we use as a confluence to buy our trade to the upside um, on last week. And we had to our position around somewhere at 2750 after we saw some fluctuation in the market. Therefore, price arrived to our target and we were able to secure nice profit there. On Wednesday last week, we did mention about reselling, but we had a fundamental coming up. So we knew that it is likely that we may be stuck in that trade. However, it is better we grab our exact price action zone. We did that, and which ended up in nice profit. But some of us did not. In fact, me myself, I did not jump on. Yet we also have a pending order that we're going to be buying buy limit to the upside because we knew that fundamental could trigger that area. Yet by risking um, certain percentage of our account, so I was risking 1% of account and 2 trades. So yesterday, the trade kept running over the weekend, and as at yesterday, you all saw that I locked one of my profit around here, which was already around 20%. Well, sorry, that was in total overall. So I locked one at around 10% plus. And today, I locked the second trade, which is around 13% after price moved towards to this area here. So my point here is that yesterday now we bought another trade, but before that we sold, hoping to see that we can get a sell to the downside. So we took an early signal at this flag pattern, hoping that it's going to secure us to the bottom side of the channel and to grab the equilibrium of this channel. So we checked to see that we're going to be securing our target around around 2802, which is still identified right here. But price never did. Instead, price went above and hit stop loss. Yet, we mentioned that it is time to jump in for a buy trade, but we need to wait for a retest first, and which retest actually happened on a 30 minutes time frame, and we end up as price closed above after hitting the flag measurement. And right now, so later day, I bought in that trade. I secured my loss from yesterday, and I was able to leave that and let the trade run, since I still have more trades running from previous week, I would say. So here comes today. What we are expecting now is to see how we will continue to trade to the upside. Yet we have a momentum, but since the market is open, we've been having short-term retracement, and we are approaching the hybrid session, which is the US merging with the Europe session. So I'm hoping there'll be a volatility, or probably there'll be a short-term movement to downside. Yet, if we look at daily, it's been a strong movement to the upside for XAU USD. So the situation here is that, are we going to sell or are we going to buy? But it is likely that price would pull back and later close to the upside today. So we are looking for a possible retracement to the downside to collect some order and to see how we can push forward to the upside. Yet we don't have too much fundamental today, but we have PMI, I believe, coming up later today. So that is also another potential fundamental that may push the price. Yet that fundamental, it's not going to be happening during this session. It's going to be happening later. So it is likely that we might be stuck in the trade, or we might not even get any signal at all. So we don't want to force it. But if we go lower time frame, we may see early signal that will allow us to jump on. Now it's now up to us. This is my 5 minutes time frame. It's up to us now to decide if we want to sell that short time, or we want to wait for a price pullback and buy it back to the upside. But it is up to us to decide what we want. But for me, I'll be looking at the potential buy. I'll be looking at the potential sell. So currently, I have price within this territory. And what I'm looking forward to is to see how price will come back and retest this imbalance here and possibly failed. And if that's the case, all I'm looking for is for price to come back to the downside. And from there, I'm expecting a buyback up. So what do I mean? I mean, all I want to see is that either price to go up now and come down, and later day, I want it to go back up. Now, if price choose to go deeper, that's fine. But all I want to see is that at least I can sell to this territory here. So I can sell to around 2861 price zone. So if I can sell to that area, I will wait to see what the reaction will looks like, and to see if I can jump in a buy trade, or maybe I will wait for price to return to the upside before I actually go back inside the trade. So what I'm looking for is a price trap. So it may look something like this. We're gonna break out from the channel looking like we are selling, but actually it's just a short time pullback. So we are trapped in this, and price is merging with this line here, and I'm expecting it to fail to the downside where price will break. But currently it looks like price is holding from this support to the upside. But I'm looking at the possibility that before end of session yesterday, and some of us might remember I mentioned this. So I'm going to go back to my 15 minute, but yet I would also look at my H1 instead. So my H1, yeah. So I did mention yesterday when I was looking at the cycle that we now have one, and we have 1, 2, we have 3, 4, and currently it looks like we are 5 now. So we may be having our A, B, C, and it's likely that the C can dip to the lower side, but this is just a very quick short time movement that we are looking at here, not an overall movement. So if that's complete, I'm waiting for that pullback and just want to sell that B to C. So now that you understand what I might be looking at, and what my idea is that we now need to focus on how will price will be failing, and potential entries on. So my top down analysis will now be looking at my H4 time frame and to see where we're at. So momentum is still strong, I believe, based on the trend to the upside. The market still looks healthy. I don't see the reason why price will fail at all. Yeah. Let me switch this. Good. So my H4 looks strong enough to continue to trade to the upside, and I'm going to adjust my lines to fit the current market price. What is it? So now, if you look at what we have here and what I'm identifying here, you can see that we actually break out from this line here, which looks like a rising wedge, and it's kind of squishy. So these little simple trend lines help you identify what is actually happening, or what are the sentiment, or is price getting weaker, so we can take that little fraction of discrepancies from price and see how we can take advantage of it. So but this time the price looks, channel up looks stronger, but this now the price looks narrowed. And when it looks narrowed, it shows that it's likely that price may want to recover a bit. So what we want to do is to look for a possible sell back to downside, so we can, and the channel can become expansion. So hopefully we can see that. Yet we also need the price to test the low. Why? Because when you look at current scenario, we can see that we've tapped all this high here, yet we haven't tapped the low since yesterday. We haven't tapped the low. So the last low we had yesterday was during our session, and since then we haven't tapped any low. So it is likely that price may want to come down and tap the low. If not, price would like to tap it within the next couple of hours. So maybe tomorrow we will find some ranging price. Price may not want to pull back that much. Yeah, so we may have something price trading within this range. And if price is trading within that range of 2860 and 2880 price zone, yeah, it's likely that price will tap this um, support line, and we may continue to push back to the upside. Yeah, so the sentiment of this line is saying that we are rising, and so therefore we need to continue to look for sentiment that keep buying to the upside. Yet price needs to find a support to continue to push back to the upside, and that's what we need to figure out now from our lower time frame. So my 1 hour time frame is here, and I am looking at the possibility of this range in here. So we can now box out this area zone and to find out what we have. So we see that we have some sign of weakness here, and yet that does not mean that that sign of weakness will show that price will fall, but it just shows us a sign of reaction that we should focus on right now. So to my 30 minutes time frame, similar from each one I have, similar, nothing different. So I'm going to extend my line for now, and to allow me to see what we have based on what we have on H4 as well. My 30 minutes identifying similar as well. So what I'm going to do is to now focus on what happened yesterday and versus today only. So we took the trade from here yesterday, and I am going to attach the line and to see that yet still we are still running in a channel. But on my 30 minutes time frame, we did find a support. We did find a support, and because we find a support, price ascend to the upside. Now the question is if price wants to find another support, and based on the fundamental that is coming up soon as well. So I'm looking at the possibility of price coming down at least the previous imbalance right here, and we can now go to a lower time frame, see if we can capture a quick entry. If possible, we do have a proper setup as well on lower time frame to capture that small movement. All right, now I'll take it to my 15 minutes time frame and see where we are at. Yeah, so on my 15 minutes time frame, yes, we do have a shooting star. We do have well, we might call it a pin bar, and of course we do have range as well, and we do have a sort of head and shoulders. Yeah, we have. So all those confluences are there that I can use as a sentiment to say, okay, let me see if I can push price to the downside, or maybe I can enter this trade. Now, knowing this concept here, we will now take a, a, a confluence approach to hoping that this price will favor us. Another thing that I also want to identify here is that we have a resistance here, and so but looking at my 55 minutes time frame, it looks like we have an imbalance right there. So that place is a liquidity zone. That when price come there, if price breach there, we may be proceeding to the upside. So which may be another factor that I need to consider here. But for now, I do see this head and shoulders, and that head and shoulders should value me a possible target to the low side. Now, because of the sentiment is still strong, I do not see why I should be going lower um, uh, based on my head and shoulders measurement. So what I'm going to do is to measure this head and shoulders and to feel me what we may be looking at here. Now, it's likely that my target will hit, but I do not want my target to hit because I believe the strength of the bullish is still strong. So, and the price may fail at any time. And if the price reaches, fine. But in this concept, I'll be looking at going for a sell trade now. So since I'm risking 1%, I'll prefer to go in as an early entry, but also certify why I should be going in. So I would like to look for one more reason why my entry should be valid for a sell trade. So while I analyze the market properly, I will go on mute. So, as you all may know, disclaimer, you should understand that past performance does not guarantee future performance, but you should understand also that I've been doing this for almost 2 decades. So, therefore, I consider myself as a professional trader. Therefore, I'm a consistent trader either. So, I also want you to understand that you're on your own as the risk factor, like you may be considering. So, looking at my trade here, I'm looking at the possible of selling this trade which I just sold, and my target it's also around excuse me, um, I'll be going for 2861 for my target for now, which is less than 1%, I think around 0.7%, and so therefore my stop loss will be around 8.8%. So my target, overall target, should be around 2860, 2860, which is right here. But I do want my target to be before that. So I'm going to wait to see what this looks like. Yet, so I'm still, my target is under 1%. My stop loss is under 1%. And like I said to you, the sentiment we have here is still strong, is bullish, that we have a fundamental comment. And if you remember, I did mention to you yesterday that if the price grows at a certain price that I mentioned yesterday, it is likely that we will be pushing up through with the Asia session. And when you look at it, we can tell that throughout today, with the Asia session, we've been having a bullish market since then. And this was Asia session, I believe, today. And look at how push the price continuously to push. And we haven't got any retest since then. So it is likely that the US may want to test the Asia session. And before that, we would continue to push back to the upside. And so I'm letting you understand the follow up from yesterday and in correlation to why I will be selling today. Yet, if the market is too bullish and there's no point for the market to return to that territory for now, and so we are looking at a continuation to the upside. However, the market can choose also because right now we have head and shoulders, right? Although we have got the neckline broke, but what if the price choose to now do something else, do like a double top, hit our stop loss, because a lot of trader might have seen this sign to I want to jump on, and only to now fall back down. So that can also be another factor that we need to consider here. So looking at this concept, I'm allowing you to understand that even though price do the second option by going back up, and then fail to the downside, break the neckline of the double top or the head and shoulder, whichever it is, yet don't give up. You should need to understand that the market would like to do the second phase of the reaction. So looking at this, still go ahead and execute the trade. Yeah. But if you don't have a clarity, and that is when you don't want to do nothing, because it looks like sentiment is changing now. So yet, and if price now choose to stay beyond to the upside, and we want to continue to look for the buy trade. But right now, I'm looking for a short-term sell. Hopefully, we can get an aggressive sell to the downside before the fundamental or during the fundamental. But I am hoping that it would be before the fundamental. Okay. Now, with the potential short reversal that we have here, and we have this upper spinning top price bar before this bar here. If this current bar 1 hour H1 closes above this high, for me it is better for me to exit from my position first and to decide what's gonna happen here. But or times like this, price may choose to stay inside and close inside and still proceed to the upside. So therefore I can track this to the lower time frame and see what is happening on 30 minutes or so. But the point here is that I do not want this price to close above, and currently it's just did that it closes below it. So let's take a look at 30 minutes time frame. On my 30 minutes time frame, it seems like we do have price close above the previous. So looking at we've been refusing to close to the downside, and now we are having multiples hammer price zones. So the patterns that we are generating is sustaining the bullishness, and so it's likely that we can proceed to the upside. So in situation like this, it's better to close the trade and not to take a reversal trade, continuation to the upside, but yet to wait and see what's happening. So I am going to shut my trade down right now and wait and see what this is going to look like. But if I look at 5 minutes time frame, it is likely that I have a early entry for a buy trade to the upside, and also that buy trade has also that I'm thinking has also generated ascending triangle, because we are trading between a range still. We can have a tap out, and which we generate just as we mentioned yesterday. So we're having similar structure as yesterday movement, everything overall. So we need to wait and see how this price wants to react. Even though on my 1 hour time frame, price still close below the high, yet the overall price is staying above the previous um, close price. So I believe we have more supply being generated towards to the upside. So um, it's better to wait and look for um, other confluences, yeah, before we add to positions. Now, another price that I would consider is that if price should maintain this high and trade below it, yes, we may be looking at a sell trade. But if price should stay above it, then that's another confluence why we should be trading to the upside. Yeah. But we will see. So all I need now is to say that we have a nice momentum price that would break this um, movement we have here. So should I get that, that would give me a clarity of possibly a down movement. No, that's all right. You don't need to sorry for anything. Yeah, because I just need to understand, you know, with clarity. I like to make sure that I'm not misinforming traders. So, as best to my knowledge, I want to understand the information so I know how to phrase it. Because at any time we may have, um, advanced trader, professional trader, novice trader, you know, basic trader in this call on this call, right? And we don't want to we want to make sure that everybody get the same information, not like they'll be informed, because the way I will phrase it might be different from what someone have read or someone have watched from somewhere else. And because I'm frequent in the market, so I prefer to give the latest information, whereas someone else might have read 10 years old book, and which market doesn't function that way any longer. So it is fine. I just need to understand. Well, and you also need to confirm it. Maybe I did answer your question. If not, you can ask again, in a different form. So, well, so the question is again that how does one use the confidence level of momentum to determine the trade spread between um, 0.01 lot size, I believe, and what lot size, of one lot size. So the confidence, that I believe it's, well, it is not about um, um, just the lot size. Well, we can also talk about the leverage itself as well. Yeah, because when you have the leverage of 1 to 50 and versus, in fact, let me use the account that we have right now, because that one you can follow going forward. We are using this challenge account, and if you look at the balance, because you can see the balance, but when we upload the video, people might not be able to see the balance. You can see the balance just on the top right here, on the right corner, yeah. And if you can see that, then good. Now, looking at the balance at the top corner here, this account, does anybody remember when we started this challenge account itself? Yeah, so we started with 300 balance. And when was it that we started? I'm asking to know if some were following and they've been listening to the psychology behind um, how we've been utilizing your question that I'm about to answer. Okay, not to delay, we started last year, June 17, right? So, and within, so to now, the balance is now um, 11119, so 1119, and we've been using a 0.01 lot size. When there is momentum, when there is ranging, regardless, okay, it does not matter. Why? It's because, first of all, we are dealing with gold. Yeah. Now, recently, well, not recently, around November, I showed you all, yeah, I showed you all how we can utilize a 0.01 lot size. Let me see if I can type it here. How we can utilize why is my text also white? Let me see what I can do to this. Yeah, I want it, so we said if we use 0.01 lot size, and for this, when we started around 300 balance, my 1%, when we started back then, let me put it here, 300 balance. So when we started, we had a balance of 300, and we use, and my 1% was around 30 pips back then with gold. Yeah, and I was using around 15 minutes, 30 minutes, but majorly 30 minutes time frame. Okay, yeah, so M30 time frame. Okay, whereas around, oops, what have I done? Okay, whereas around November I started to use, let me see if I can push this down. Why is it not coming down? Oh yeah, there you go. Okay, um let me see what this is doing before we continue. I think we may have a signal here, and yeah, that is a nice move right there. What just happened? A moment, I need to detach this. Yeah, we have a signal coming up, so let me see. There you go. I'm going to go back in the trade. Yep, even though our risk is now a bit, but we still want to stick to the um, decision without changing, um, and hopefully we're not going to get a pin buy again and rejection, and if we do, that won't be nice at all. But this time I would prefer that stop loss should be hit instead of because I do like on my 1 minute time frame, even though it's useless, I do like how price closed below our zone right here. So yet it is not strong enough. All right, let's continue what we're doing here. So let's go back to 5 minute, I believe it is, yeah. So when you now look at, when we look at the possibility of what I'm talking about here, you will see that now I am using 5 minutes time frame, and for lots, yeah, and my stop loss still is 0.01, but let me hover and so that you can see properly. You can see my pips is now 90 pips, and yet if you notice my estimated is what, 64.64%. Yeah, my profit will be 0.43%. Yeah, so which means that as I am trading, my securing profit, my percentage risk keep increasing. So which means now my balance is now, well, 1000, let's say. Okay, 1000. We don't want to put now, and we have a 0.01 lot size. Now I can now do what? Let's go back again and check. Let me put it for you to see the differences. So I'm going to put my percentage so you can see for yourself where it's likely that it would be. Okay. Oh, what am I doing? So I need 140 pips now. Okay. Yeah. I need 140 pips. Look at that. But imagine before. Imagine where my stop loss would be before. 30 pips around here, I believe. It was 30 pips before when I was 300. So imagine. So which means any fluctuations, boom, my stop loss will hit. So I need to be exact at my entry. So knowing that, imagine if you now use one lot size, even though you have 30K balance, you have a 3,000 balance, you now use one lot size, and you say you want to risk 1% of that account, right? So the psychology there is that you need to understand that it will take time. It will take time. This is why I'm going about your question spread. It will take time. So because of my accuracy, I can have 5 loss in a row. It is not because my strategy is bad. It is because my stop loss is too tight and I cannot afford to lose more. So when price now want to return and finally push back, it will have stopped me out and I won't be in that trade, and maybe I've gone to do something else. I'm not going to be on the screen all day. So only to exercise patience, and right now you can see that I can now trade beyond 100 pips and I have enough room for my trade. But the moment I increase my lot size to 0.02, what do you think will happen? My pips will reduce from 140 to 80. So I announced earlier that I would be increasing my lot size when I get to 1.2, right? To 0.02. I don't have to use 0. All the time, but I can use 0.02 whenever I want to. So therefore I can close part profit, I can leave the rest to run. Yeah. So therefore, at some point in the nearest few months, possibly, I'll be able to do one lot size with this same account here. So I say to you, it does not matter the momentum, it matters patience, of course, that your strategy is promising. Okay, it is promising. When you have a promising strategy, your lot size will not matter. What would matter that precisely you have your execution entry numbers you triggered, and the expectation is for you to be able for price to go your way. Okay, and in return you need to exercise a lot of patience. Why? Let's say we want to scalp, and let's say we detect a momentum. Now in fact, yesterday will have been a very good one. Yeah, so we had an opportunity here yesterday. This was it, right? Trader, can you confirm this was the opportunity? I did mention on 1 minute, I believe, or 5 minutes, I said we have a rising wedge here, and if it breaks, entry. And truly, what happened? It was a scalp trade, but end up huge momentum. Okay. Now, if you notice that movement after the price close, you jump in with a one lot size, boom, within Let's look at it. Within 72 pips, you already secure 700, yeah, dollars. Whereas for me, if I would have jumped in that trade yesterday, I will have secured 70 cents. Yeah, I will have secured possibly. Is it 70 cents? Well, no, it won't have been 70 cents. Maybe it would have been around yeah, $5 it says, yeah. That's what I will have secured. Yeah. So let's say you secure 500 as well. My question is that, can you repeat the same thing again and again and again and again and sustainable? Yeah. Can you tell yourself that, oh, I just made 500, I'm done for the day. Tomorrow, minus 600, okay, I'm done. Next tomorrow, I just make 1 grand, I'm done. Or would you continue? Oh my God, it's still gonna go up again. Let me jump in again. And now it's reversing. You don't want to lose more. You close your trade, right? So, have you satisfied yourself? If you can satisfy yourself from all little second guessing yourself, and I think your question is valid, that you can choose, you can use confidence level. So my confidence level yesterday would have been using my other portfolio to jump in this trade, secure that trade. Some of you know that already, and you've seen that. Yeah, and I'm done. Yeah, so, and I can do that again. And just as the way I confidently say yesterday that after this, expect that if price close, I mentioned yesterday, I said if price close above a certain territory yesterday, I said expect Asian session to push up. It's confidence as well, no doubt. Yeah. So which means I could just trigger a trade when I saw that I can trigger a trade and it will land me in profit still. You see? But another trader knows that that would happen. But no, I'm not sure. I don't want to do nothing. I just want to leave it. Oh, and it did happen that way. And next time, the trader knew that I'm not too sure this time. Yeah. And the trader still up because last time it did went my way. Okay, this time I want to, and the trigger I went against them. That is not confidence. Yeah. So patience needs to be, and that my confidence, I know what I'm doing, and I know that is for sure gonna go my way. But yet it may not. It may not, and I will understand that if it doesn't, it's fine. But out of 50 of my analysis, 40 is always on point. That makes a difference. So you know that that 10 is okay, whatever market wants to do. So I will stick to the plan. So that gives you an edge, and continuously. So I'm not sure if I went beyond, or I give you different understanding, but I believe I've answered your question. All right, thank you. Don't praise me whenever you feel like I'm not doing well. I also want to know that I am not, because I'm learning as well. and I would like to know how to express as an indicator to traders, you know. Yeah, yes, be vigilant. Correct. Um, on my 5 minute here, I'm looking at price um, weakness. Yeah, yet it shows that we have another setup possibly to the downside, and which you all know as a BRC. Yeah, so we broke out from the trade, even though we knew that price is going to do that, yet we were very ready to execute our trade, but price actually failed finally, and yet we know our plan, we stick to the plan, we jump on. So our BRC is that we have ascending triangle which is supposed to push up but failed. So therefore, price broke to the downside, and do what? We test it as usual. So we need continuation, but we entered at the breakout. So there is another trade that's supposed to be triggered here because we are breaking out from the previous support level. But because of we don't know how far this price will go, even though um, we have this head and shoulders here, uh, because of the sentiment is strong, we don't know if it's going to hit the support level or not. So I would have said, let's jump in this trade. But I'm still thinking, my finger is itchy to say, let's jump in this trade. But before I jump in that trade, I'll prefer to break even first. Yeah, now that I break even, I can now decide maybe I should jump in another new trade, and just to get, contusion. Okay, now that I'm in that trade, what I'm going to do is to put my stop loss right here. Okay, because all I'm still under 1%, and increase my target as well, just in case if price spiked, I want to be taken out from this trade. And now I'm looking at my 30 minutes time frame as well, and I can see that my 30 minutes time frame just engulfed all this ranging, yet I'm looking at possibility of a quick push to the downside. But if not, I will lose one trade and another trade break even, which is okay. So let's anticipate in this trade. Another thing I should do is to extend my TP here. And the reason I want to do that, just in case sometimes you can get a big spike. You see that? Yeah. So I am going to break even. That is what we call spike. But you can see that my spread has increased. So which means any slight move can stop me out. All right. My spread is now increased. So it looks like we are scalping. Perhaps we are also trying to trade intraday price breakout. So therefore, I will now reduce my stop loss from the initial trade, and the reason is because I closed my trade in minus, if you remember, around zero point 0 something. So I want to see that when price reverses, it will take me out and I can be back to break even. Yet, if this trade goes my way, at least it will secure me some profit for the day. And all these little cents, they adds up um, to the next progress. So I'll continue to trail. So what I'm going to do now is to activate my trailing itself. So then I don't have to worry about managing my trade. But this fresh trade, it's likely that it may be triggered anytime soon. Could be. However, if you're not confident enough with this trade that you have right here, you can easily lock your trade, because right where we had is a strong support level, and I expect price can suddenly reverse, because on a daily time frame we're still looking good. But right now we have a nice breakout momentum candle, but for how long this will last, because we are trading. This is 5 minutes time frame. Okay, now let's check our 15 minutes time frame. Yeah, still our 15 minutes haven't closed yet, so we still have the possibility of price reversing anytime soon. Yeah. So now that I've activated my trailings, so I'm not uh, worried about the sell trade any longer. If my stop loss hit, if my break even hit, I'm fine. Everything is secured. But what really matters to me now is my reversal. Okay, yeah, that's what really matters to me. So I need to find out what is going to be happening next, because we are approaching the new session, and I need to know that we are having a possible uh, movement here. So what I'm going to do is to start checking out all the time frame and see what's the possibility of a reversal. Do we have a quick chance before the end of this session? Because when the fundamental approaches, we may get an aggressive move to the downside. And like I said to you earlier, I am not looking to sell uh, um, lower than where my target was, and price just took me out of all my trailings. Yeah. Secondly, is that it is time to now identify a bullish flag, and possibly if that so we may have a bullish flag right here that can also identify um, a possible reversal. So this is a falling wedge, in fact. Yeah, so we have a falling wedge right here that price just formed. So we know now that we are in a falling wedge flag structure patterns, and then what we need to look for is a possible reversal. And if price dip below, it's fine. It's fine. Um, the moment price now return, we want to look for continuation. Yeah, so my 30 minutes is still inside the box still. If you look at it properly, my 30 minutes is still trading within the box area zone. It's not like it's far away. So it is likely that we may get another fail. And if we get another fail and fundamental comes, we can see a buy trade. But the fundamental can also be another one more sell to the downside, and after that we push back up. So we need our complete formations, or we now need price to come out of this flag falling wedge for continuation to the buy side. Yet price can correct itself, and you may see another price to dip down. Yeah, and which I expect the fundamental can do that. So don't be surprised if we see something like this, and after like this, and price now push. Therefore, our structure will now look like probably something like this. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I'm preparing us for the next couple of hours, and maybe for till tomorrow as well. Well, the profit for today, not too bad, but at least um, it's better. Nice, 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 nice. It is. Not every day we're gonna be counting huge pips. Yeah. If we consider, I would prefer to look for a buy trade, and it's because of how the market looks like. So for me, um, what I prefer to do, although I do prefer to see that price hit its head and shoulders now, because we have like 50 pips left for price to hit that zone. So I am hoping that price will do that. But if not, so what I do want to see is I'm going to set my buy limit right at the target, because I have a wider stop loss now, and so to allow my trade to trigger, and hopefully 140. Yeah, um, it's going to be okay. So I'm looking at what will be the possibility of if I jump in with so I like to do that ahead to know my entry. And another thing is, what's the size of the volatility that okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set my buy limit, and hopefully the market will spike us in and take us for a ride. So my stop loss will be 140 pips. It is now looking like not falling wedge any longer. It is now looking like what? Flag. Yeah. So since we now confirm that we have a flag, yeah, so let's now see how this will produce. Although I did mention that I would like to buy now based on what I'm considering that is going to happen. And so I'm looking at the factor if I should, would this be beneficial? So as I do not want, let me see if I can get that. Let's see. I'm looking at every possibility to add my position in another trade. Oh yeah, I do have another confluence, so which I'm gonna buy now. And that will be my second trade for a possible um, momentum back to the upside later on. Now remember, if you don't have the risk tolerance, be aware that this trade that we are taking here is not for you. But should you, then make sure you calculate your risk factor. So one trade is triggered, the other one pending order buy limit is being set. I'm looking forward to a buy trade to the upside. Hopefully that can achieved. But at some point, I'm going to set my trailing stop to start trailing my trade. Before we end the session for today, do we have questions or is there any updates that you want to share with me? Um, so the question is, there is also an imbalance. Yes, there is, and that is why we mentioned earlier that price can also push back here and push back down before, but price chooses to go down first. And I did mention from our 30 minutes time frame as well that, where was it? I think I left it somewhere. Probably I removed it. Yeah, I did left it here. You see that if price should close above it, it's likely that we are going by as well. So I'm preparing our mind ahead of what could have happened, and because one of the reasons is that of the imbalance will have been broken and we will close above the previous resistance, just a week only left, similar to what happened yesterday. Now the second factor here is that um, let me go back to, yeah, price will react, yes, but because of the um, momentum, you might get just a scalp trade, just what we did recently, with a few movement quickly, you break even, and yeah, so you can get a reaction there. But the imbalance for me is against the market. What I mean by that is that if price could come there, and because most traders will look at it as a very strong confluence to sell, and price may just react a bit, range, and then boom, you know, and come back later to test it properly and go. Because a lot of traders understand that this is what, and of course, so-called, what they call them, um, the dump money knows that you are trading that imbalance as well. Yeah, so we take that as a reason why price should go. And for example, again, look at this very move we have here. Where is it again? I think I removed the target. So we had a head and shoulders target, and majority can be going for that target, which it can reach at some point, maybe during the fundamental. But what if it doesn't? But if you look at the head and shoulders target, it should reach. But some circumstances it might not, because of the momentum to the upside, and price can fail early and push back up. But because at least it has captured half of it, and so we don't want to rely on that. And the market can give us example of it's going to reach it, but you looking at the factor, okay, look at this breakout, oh my god, it's going to reach it, and only for price to just reverse back up. Yeah, whereas the market was looking at just this imbalance right here, you know. So what I'm trying to say to all of us is that all our confluences must match while we are selling and while we are buying. But if one confluence is missing from the other and something that doesn't make any sense, we don't have to force it, because then it wouldn't make no sense. But it makes sense now. Why? Because we have imbalance, we have head and shoulders, we have ranging, and we can see that price has been ranging. So the only thing price will do is either price go and hit our stop loss or go our way. One of the two. One of the two. At how much our stop loss would be. Yeah. Now, someone who does have 30 pip stop loss would hit, and me that have 140 stop loss will still be in the market. Yeah. Whereas someone who has 20 pip stop loss, immediately that person will be stopped out, and we are all trading the same direction, right? So, but you should understand that. Don't worry. Next time, the market will favor you too. Yeah. But except if you can afford to adjust your stop loss, or you should add more balance so that you can give the market enough room to breathe. Yeah. So in with this imbalance you have here, the market can favor you, yes, but it might not favor you as you want. You might sell thinking that okay, and only for the price to hit this imbalance and push up more and then come down, but because you left your stop loss right here, it would hit you and then go back down. You'd be like, wow. Okay. So because the momentum is strong to the upside, yes, so it would not be ideal to sell there. Instead, it would be ideal to buy because the momentum is strong on our higher time frame. So the market came down, it is better to buy here now, or or to buy outside here when you see clarity. Yeah. But buying here, selling here, it's okay, but you need to factor a lot of things. Yeah. Not just imbalance. You should look at other factors. And so your decision can be strong. So when the imbalance is cleaned up, it can reverse, but it might not reverse as far as you want. All right, traders, I'm going to leave you for today, and I expect the market to come back to hit my second entry, and possibly we may even dip to the low side, hopefully, but hopefully not. I'm expecting to buy back up. Yeah, so and if I should see price should push higher, I might break even early so that if the fundamental comes, it won't stop me out. All right, I will see you later, and bye for now.